Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Hello, everybody in the chat. This is my chat right here. Mondays do suck. Hang in there. Drink your coffee. Julian, that's how we do it. That's how we survive Monday. Hello, everybody. Today is, what's the date today? It's starting early today. Can you believe that? What is going on? So it's February the 5th. Okay. It's almost Valentine's Day. You guys know that's coming up. Maybe that's a big day. I know certain countries do it a little bit differently, and I think you have different Valentine's Day. So maybe that could be a good question of the day. Maybe we can start with a Valentine's Day question. Hello, everybody. Let's do some shout-outs to everybody in the chat. Hello, Pilar. What's up? Garima, what's up? Manal, you have a vitamin D deficiency because there's no sun in England? That's rough. And I can understand because I live in Vancouver, and we also have a lack of vitamin D because we don't have any sun in winter. So the only solution for that is travel, go to another country, drink more coffee. Apparently eggs also have vitamin D. That's a good thing to do as well. Maybe eat some eggs. That could help. Or go out and get a hobby in the winter, you know, something to do outside. That's what I recommend. Julian, it's your birthday on Friday. Well, happy how do I say this? Not belated. What's the one before belated? Prelated? Prelated birthday. I just created a new English word for you. Happy birthday on Friday because I won't see you on Friday. Let's see what else we got here. Triplo commercial. That's an interesting name. Hello. Hello, Judith. How you doing? Saeed. Saltine. Hello, Saltine. Luana. Hello. All right. The regulars are back. Hello, Hakam. Who else we got in the chat here? Manar. Hello, Manar. Walla. Hello. Lots of people here. Gertrudis, hello again. Awesome. And lots of people in the chat today. Well, hello, guys. I appreciate you coming on a Monday to hang out with me, to hang out, learn some stuff. We're definitely going to learn some stuff today. So what we're going to be looking at, we're gonna do the Valentine's Day question. That's a good one. Let's start with that. But let's set ourselves up for success. Here's what we're going to be working on today. So if you are equipped with the Smrt, the SMRT, you guys can go to English level 125, and we're going to be looking at all the way down, scroll. We're going to be looking at, here we go, first, second, and third conditionals. This is the plan for today. So if you've done this before, I'm sure you have, but it's good to review, and we're going to look at a couple different combinations. We're going to look at all of them together. We're going to look at the zero, and where's the zero conditional? Did you know there's a zero? We're going to look at that. So the first, second, and third conditionals, we're going to look at them all together. Boom! And we might even do a mixed conditional. What? Yeah, that's right. We're going to mix the past and the future together, or the present. All right, so this is what we're going to be working on. So if you have it, you can go to 9.1. I've also put the document in the chat so you guys can look at that. That's the other thing we're going to be working on. Oh, Professor. Sounds nice, Gilmara. Thank you very much, Professor. Need a tie. I don't have a tie. And mixed conditional too. Yes, you got to do that. We're gonna mix them all up. We're gonna show you which are the most common ways of doing conditionals as well. So good review for some of you guys, and good practice for people who are a little bit newer to English and just still working on those basics. So let's get started. And let's start with the question of the day. I think we need a Valentine's Day question. So I guess the question would be, do you celebrate Valentine's Day? And number two, do you have a special somebody in your little heart or something like that? So let's do that. Let's start with a question of the day. I like questions of the day. Get us warmed up for the month, for the topic. Here we go. Question of the day. So let's put a quote, a clause in there. Do you celebrate, or do you have Valentine's Day? So that's the first question. Let's make that bigger. So do you have Valentine's Day in your, I'll call it culture? Do you do anything special? Or let's do this. What are you doing? For it. There we go. Let's not repeat. Okay, so here's the question of the day. Let's start with that. Fourth conditional. Julian, no, there's no fourth conditional. So we're going to stop at 3. 3 is enough to confuse you, so we're going to stop at 3. So here's the question of the day. Do you have Valentine's Day in your culture, and what are you doing for Valentine's Day? So please weigh in. Tell me what you guys have planned for it, and what do you do if you do celebrate? What is the thing that you do? So for Valentine's Day in Canada, I mean, you know, it's a couple's day, right? I think for most countries it's It's a couple's day. Oh, you celebrate yours. Pilar says you celebrate Valentine's Day in September. Okay, and do you have two Valentine's Day? Because some people actually have two different ones. We only have one, but I know in some countries I think there's actually two different ones. So this is a little bit of a cultural thing as well. Sorry, Manal. No, don't hang in there. Hang in there. You're going to get there soon. Don't worry. I feel like next weekend it's your weekend. You're going to meet somebody special next weekend. So hang in there. So do you have Valentine's Day? What are you doing for it? I think in Canada, you know, it's kind of a thing where couples go out, dinner, this kind of thing. It's very commercial, but that's cool. It's cool. It's a nice day to have to celebrate as well. When we were young, when we were in high school, we would just kind of like buy a whole bunch of Valentine's Day cards, and we kind of put a little box on the front of the desk, and we would go around and give everybody Valentine's. So everybody's happy, everybody gets something. So it was kind of for everybody. So don't be afraid to give anybody a Valentine's Day card if you celebrate, or if you think it's something fun you want to try. Just give anybody a Valentine's Day card. Hopefully you don't confuse anybody, but just like, hey, you're an awesome person. Why don't you take this and some chocolates, and maybe some chocolates in there are good. I know they're selling lots of chocolates. So let's see what the people in the chat are doing for Valentine's Day. Let's see. So Edgar says in Mexico, yes, you have Valentine's Day as well. So tell me, what do you guys do for Valentine's Day? What's your thing? What do you do presents for people, or do you go out for dinner? What's kind of the routine for Valentine's Day? Routine, or keep it interesting, maybe better. Italy says yes. Saeed, you're in Italy. All right, very nice, buddy. So Pilar, nothing. Single, haha. Don't worry, Pilar. I also have a feeling that this is your year. Maybe next month, I got a feeling that that's going to happen. Anyway, some people say I do nothing. Well, okay, then I guess you gotta meet somebody. You gotta go out and find some ways to meet people. Edgar says we used to give flowers, chocolates, go to dinner, and of course make a lot of love. Well done, Edgar. That's the ultimate Valentine's Day plan. Awesome. Julian says, sadly I'm single. We haven't in Morocco. Well, don't let that stop. You could say, oh, you know, I've been here and it's Valentine's Day, so I thought I'd get you something. Could be, that could be a nice little way. It's like, you know, it's Valentine's Day somewhere in the world, so I thought I would give you this card. Boom! Instant way to get in somebody's good books, be in somebody's good books, maybe meet somebody. What do you think? This is dating advice. This is good. If you guys have any tips, throw them in the chat. We can share, and everybody's going to be happier on Valentine's Day. Just like my man, Edgar. So, what else? Believe it or not, great name. We dance with our partners. Okay, dancing is cool. Said's just relaxing. Lolly 70 Lolly says we celebrate Valentine's Day in France, but I don't celebrate because I'm single. Hang in there, Lolly. Things are going to change. Spring is coming. You know, spring is the time, right? When things happen, the magic happens. Let's see what else we got here. Luana says, yes, I do celebrate with my friends because we don't have boyfriends or girlfriends. Ha ha ha. So we love to eat, I'm guessing. Oh, that's a good plan B, right? If you don't got anything, just go out with some friends. Go out for some food, maybe some drinks. Boom. Valentine's Day succeeded. What else we got? Judith says, if I were young, I would have fallen in love every Valentine's Day again and again. Yep. Okay. Very nice. Nice conditional there. What else we got? Saltine says, I'm single. Hang in there, Saltine. What else can I say to you guys? Hang in there. It's coming. I got a feeling that this is going to be your month. This month, February, the month of love. We're going to not call it February anymore. We're going to call it the month of love. What else? Gertruda says it's a commercial day, but in the Dominican Republic, the couples eat out. Yeah, it is a little bit commercial as well, right? JB is in the house. What's up, JB? Yes, there is in Malaysia. It's an import. Yeah, well, and there's a lot of things which are imported these days, right? What else here? Rosa, I'll be happy if someone sends me some chocolate and flowers. Yep, me too. I'd be happy. I'd be like, well, I got some chocolate or some flowers. Valentine's Day passed. Yes. Let's see here. What else we got? Manal says, what about me? Do you have a Valentine's Day? What do? I don't have it. I'm single as well, you know, so I'm in the same boat. And there's an expression for you. I'm in the same boat as you guys. What would I do? I think, what's the thing? You know, people here go out for dinner and stuff like that. Flowers, like my dad would always get my mom flowers and stuff. A little bit traditional, right? I don't know. You know, it's a day where you could do anything. I think as long as you do something fun with your partner, that's generally good. So you could do dinner if you want, or you could do something different. So I think it's an excuse to just, you know, maybe go out. You could do a little trip or something like that. That would always be an awesome surprise. So I think try to keep it interesting, right? What else here? Garima says, I love to wish Valentine's. I would love to wish a happy Valentine's Day to all my family members. I enjoy it by baking cake. Great idea. Great idea. Delicious food. That's funny because we actually got a new teacher at our school today, and we kind of tell the new teachers, like, hey, when you're a new teacher, that it's it's a culture of our school. You have to bring a cake on your first day, and we even tell that to the students. I'll be honest with you. We're like, yeah, you know, when you graduate, it's Canadian culture. You have to bring a cake on your last day. And it works out really well for everyone because everyone's kind of happy. It's your last day. You brought a cake. Everyone's happy. And it works out well for the teachers because we always get free cake. So it's a great little thing. So don't forget, if you ever come to Canada, on your last day on your graduation, you got to bring cake because it's a nice way to say thank you to all your classmates for the wonderful experience. Thank you to your teachers, especially for working so hard for you with cake. And cake makes everybody happy. So there you go. Cake on Valentine's Day, win-win. All right, you know what? I'm talking too much here. Let's jump in. Let's go to the lesson here. We're on the same boat, sinking fast. Yes. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump in because we got to do some English today. We talked about Valentine's Day. I hope you guys. Well, we're beeping here. I have it in my heart. I'm sure you guys are going to be hanging out with someone awesome on Valentine's Day. And if not, eat cake or hang out with friends. Win-win. You will win, no matter what you do. So here we go. Let's jump into this goodness. We're going to start looking at all the different conditionals. So you guys can go to your paper, and we're going to start with number 1. So here we're going to do some review, and maybe you guys have seen this. So let's start with this. Read the following sentences. Do you agree or disagree with them? So I want you to give us your opinion. Do you agree or disagree? Give your opinion. You share with me. I'm your partner. Also, I would like you to tell me if this is the 0, the first, the second, the third conditional. And is it a future idea, future idea, of course, F, no P. Future idea with a F, present idea with a P, or past idea. Guys, you know, it's Monday. Give me a second. Give me a second. Here we go. So we'll do PR. There we go. PR is present, and PA is past. Done. Okay. So here we go. We're going to look at these. So you guys tell me what conditional it is, and also give me your opinion, okay? So let's make this a little bit more interactive. You give me your opinion about this situation, and let's talk about it. All right. So we already decided that everyone's going to be meeting somebody and hanging out with some people or having some cake on Valentine's Day, so you won't be sad. But if you were sad, if I am sad, I'd like to stay at home. Do you guys agree with that idea or disagree with that idea? Ooh, tiramisu, Eunice, good idea. Tiramisu sounds amazing. I'll just stay home and eat tiramisu. I don't even need to go out for Valentine's Day. All right. So, talk about this one. JB is on top of it already. Partners, we're a team. Yes, we are a team. If I am sad, I like to stay at home. Do you guys agree with that? All right, so a lot of first conditional, present. Thank you. I think you guys. Oh, wait. Okay, so hold on. Let's back it up here because we got 4 conditionals that we're going to be doing today, and maybe an extra one, the mixed conditional. We'll probably do one of those. So if you do this, if I'm sad, I like to stay at home. Now, thank you, Judith. You got it. 0 conditional. Why is it the 0 conditional? So I'm going to write that on here. And like I said, if you want, I can, at the end of class, I can share this with you again. But this one is the 0 conditional. Why is it the 0 conditional? Because it's, well, I guess we'll talk about it later. I just want you to introduce. I want you guys to think about this right now. And what is the time? It's a present time. Okay, so we'll just go PR, present. Okay, so again, you can see the present simple grammar in there, right? I am sad. I like to stay at home. Okay, there we go. So that's the first one there. And it's a fact, yes. And you guys are bringing me the answers here. So should I explain now? Let's explain now. Why not? If I'm sad, I like to stay at home. It's almost a fact, right? It happens every time. It happens every time. And we'll look at a couple other similar facts, and that will help you to know when to use the 0 conditional. So this is a 0 conditional, and we use it to talk about routines or facts. And because routines are kind of similar to facts, right? They happen again and again. Okay, so let's go here. Number 2. Oh yes, this, you know what I'm talking about. If I drink too much alcohol, I always get a hangover. Does it happen all the time, or do you sometimes like escape with just being tired in the morning? I know sometimes if I drink certain things, we can expect a big hangover the next morning, but how about you guys? Can you escape the hangover? If I drink too much alcohol, I always, and emphasis on always. Same as 1. Yes, JB, you got a ding, ding, ding. You got the prize, and you get 50 points, 50 respect points, and you're good for the rest of the class. If I drink too much alcohol, I always get a hangover. Does that happen every time? 0 is correct, Alex. You got it, Pilar. You got it, Judith. 0, because it's the same idea. It happens again and again and again. It's like a fact. So, same thing. We got the 0 conditional here, and the time is also present. So there we go. If you didn't know there's a 0 conditional, there is. Number 3. If the weather is good this weekend, I'm going to be super happy. No, let's change that. I'm going to, well, I wanted to use the be verb, so okay, fine, let's keep that. Number 3, if the weather is good this weekend, I'm going to be super happy. Yeah, everyone's going to be super happy. I'm going to change that. I'm going to do something outside. There we go. Boom. All right, so there we go. First conditional. First, I think that's number 3 is future, future, good. So you guys got it, all future, and that's pretty easy, right? You can see it's got the going to do something. So our conditional, so our time is future, of course. So we got the F. And number 2, the conditional is the first. Okay, and we'll talk about why do we use the first conditional, and we'll talk about all that a little bit later in the lesson as well. All right, Number 4, if I tell you my deepest, darkest secret, you will be shocked. I don't know. Maybe you will be. Maybe you won't be. I'm not sure. So what do you guys think about that? Time, conditional, and maybe tell me, would you be shocked if I told you my deepest, darkest secret? I don't know if I have any deep, dark secrets. Secrets? My socks usually match my shirt in some way or form. A little fashion tip that I picked up over the years. That's a secret I can share with you guys. If you got one, you can share with me as well. Future, future. Yes, you guys got it all. Boom, future it is. And again, you can see will be, right? So will be is definitely something we use for future. And what's the conditional? First, same thing. So you know that these two, so for example, you look at this one, you have going to, future idea. And here we have will be, future idea. So the future we use with, we call it the first conditional, and we use it with some kind of future idea. I guess it doesn't have to always be the tense, but future idea. Edgar says, is it okay to use be going to instead of the auxiliary will for the first conditional? Yes, no problem, Edgar. So going to and will are very similar, right? Well, actually, no. Not totally. We've done this before, so if you want, you can always check out one of my past lessons we did on future. But anyways, going to will we usually use for predictions, and we also use it for decisions we make at the moment. And going to we use for things which we decided before, which is normally the way we do things, right? We're not crazy. We don't make all our decisions now. So yeah, both of them are correct, and we usually use going to for the future. All right, so here we go. Good. Next one. Number 5. If I were a celebrity, I would like to be someone rich. What do you guys think about that? And do you agree? Give me some answers. You guys are giving me all the answers, but give me some of your opinions. Would you like to be someone rich? Would you be happy with that? Do you need to be rich? Do you need a lot of money? So give me some of your answers there. So here we got, yes, correct, second conditional. And you know it's a second conditional because of the would, right? So whenever you see the would, it could be the second conditional or another conditional, which we'll talk about soon. Time is, now this is a tricky one, right? So if I were a celebrity, I would like to be someone rich. Now what is the time here? Because sometimes we can actually change. And you can see, if I were a celebrity, sounds like right now, I would like to be someone rich. So that idea, even though we have the would, it can also be a present idea. So did everyone get that? Situation not real, present, present. Yeah, you guys got it. Okay, cool. Good. So that's it. So sometimes we can have it, and we're going to look at some examples of future as well. So let's try this one. Now I want you guys to compare carefully. Look at number 5 and number 6, kind of together. because this one's a little bit trickier, right? So if I won the lottery next week, I would throw, there's a nice one for you, throw a party. Not do a party, not make a party, that's my Brazilian imitation, but throw a party. Throw a big party for all my friends. Okay, so what is the conditional? Number one, and number two, what is the time? Second and future. Good. All right, Garima, first try, awesome, killed it. Oh, everyone's killing it. Second and past. No, Alex, not past. Look at it. It also says if I won the lottery next week. So again, so you can see that number 5 sounds like now, but number 6 definitely sounds like future because we put next week. So what's the difference between those two? They're both the second conditional, right? If we look at that. Come on. Work for me. Work for me. Second. And this one. Okay, so that one, so you can see the number 5 is the second conditional, but it's present. And number 6 is the second conditional, but it's future. So what does that tell you? That you can actually use the second conditional for both situations, but you can change it to future if you want. Okay, cool. Here we go. Now we're getting into some different stuff. Number 7, if I had been the coolest person in my high school, I would have been happier. I don't know if I'd be happier. It doesn't really affect. You know, high school is such a small period of time. And then you're later on, it's so different. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one period of your life, right? Would it have changed your life? Was it better to be cool, or is it better to be not cool? Deep thoughts on a Monday. What do you guys think? Weigh in on this. So we got third past. Good. You guys got it. Third conditional past. P-A. There we go. And you'll notice that the grammar is a little bit different from everything else we did. You guys got it. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so all of those are good. Which one else should we do? Oh, okay, let's do a tricky one. All right, so that's the third. We got time. Let's do one more. Let's do this one. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's do this one. Number 9. Take a look at number 9. Will Sean come back? Julian, that's a great question. I don't know what's happening with Sean. I know he's a busy man these days, so I don't know if Sean's going to be coming back. But you send me some messages, and I'll be sure to pass them on. I see him from time to time, so I'll pass it on to him. So number 9, if I had listened to my parents more, I could have made better decisions. What do we got? Third conditional, past perfect. No, you're using past perfect, but be careful because this grammar is not past perfect. It's a conditional, but it's not past perfect. We just steal the had listened to make third conditional grammar, but the time is not actually past perfect. Okay, so there we go. I think everyone's got it. So same thing, third conditional. And this one also past. So again, we're similar things. So you'll notice that we've shifted. We've used would, and now we've used could. Now, all right, so you guys are pretty smart, aren't you? You're pretty smart. So tell me, what's the answer to number 10? Is that the first, the second, the third, or the 0? Ooh, that's an interesting one. Geez, I'm going to confuse myself. I should be able to answer this question. Yeah. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting one, isn't it? All right, well, you weigh in. Also asking, Paraná will come back. Great question, Julian. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what's happening there with the universities right there. I guess you'll have to stay tuned like me and find out. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with those guys. So what do we got here? Ahmed says first. Alex says third. Interesting. Ziad says mixed present. Okay. Present. So if you're a little confused about it, now if you look at this one here, get my head out of the way. So if you look at let's look at number 9 and 10. So number 9 we decided, right, is third, and it says had listened. But number 10 is not had listened, it's have understood this grammar. I should be able to answer this question. JB saying mixed. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Is it mixed? I guess it's got to be. So the thing is, so let's break it down a little bit. So here we got, so let's look at the first part. So here we have the present perfect, right? Talking about now. If I have understood this grammar, you know, around now or until this point, usually that's how we use present perfect, I should be able to answer this question. Now to me, what I would do, I would switch should with will and see which conditional it sounds like. If I have understood this grammar, I will be able to answer this question. And remember, when we were using would before, we could actually change it. We could actually change it to from the present to the future by adding some words. So I think this idea, so if it is, you know, if I have understood this grammar, I should be able to answer this question now. To me, it sounds like, it is a bit of a mixed one, isn't it? But to me, it sounds like the first conditional, because it's kind of like will, but we're using will for a current time. So you can actually switch up your conditionals, and you can use it in different ways. Like, you know, if somebody tells me I can go home, I'll go. It's, you know, it's very close. It could be almost a now idea. Sometimes we can actually use will for a now idea. And sometimes we can, of course, we usually use it for a future idea. So I think it's a mixed conditional. To me, it sounds closer to the first conditional, but with a present meaning. So sometimes it's the meaning of the sentence which kind of takes priority, because it's really not it's not traditionally a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. Okay. Oh, bye, Rosa. 1 p.m. 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. Maybe 1 a.m. Anyways, have a great day, Rosa. Let's see. So that's what it is. Sometimes you can mix these things up. So we got mixed conditional and past. So there's no past here, right, Julian? It's just because should be able to sounds like now. And if I have understood, that's definitely now. So I would probably say, yeah, if you want to call it a mixed conditional or if you want to call it the first conditional, I would probably call it the first conditional. But it's a weird one, isn't it? All right, let's do one more. Good one. You can tell me which conditional it is. If the teacher is staring at me, my life might be in danger. Unfortunately, it's a video here. I can't get you. I tried to get you, but I couldn't get you. But my students, I can get them. I was hitting my students with some paper bat today. I told them tomorrow I'm going to bring a real one in case they're not speaking English in class. So be careful. Be careful in my class. So what do you guys think? If the teacher is staring at me, my life might be in danger. Ooh, what is it? First conditional, first conditional. Yeah, I agree with you guys, right? First, future. Is it future? It kind of sounds like present, doesn't it? My life might be in danger. And you might want to add the word now to it. So again, yeah, I agree. You guys are all right. It's the first conditional, right? Because we have that present in the first part, is staring, so present continuous, just made it a little bit harder. And my life might be in danger at the moment. So it is a now idea. So you can see, especially when we use should and we use might, we can really focus that the idea might be happening now. But of course, if you use will, then of course it's gonna really sound more like a future idea. But there you go. So you can use both as well. So these are some ideas you can use as well. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So when do we use the zero conditional? You guys know all this stuff. So when do we use the zero conditional? We just talked about it. Please give me the rule. So what is the answer? Give me some answers here. We use the zero conditional to talk about what? What do we talk about with the zero conditional? In the real case, general information sign. You got it. Yeah, that works, Elif. So let's just cut that down. Let's just say to talk about. To talk about, we'll use that one first. Facts, right? Science, things which happen every day. And yes, I agree with that. Good answer, Edgar. And general truths, right? Kind almost like a fact, right? So, you know, if you heat water to a certain temperature, it boils. That's a fact. And a general truth, if I drink too much tequila, I get a horrible hangover every time, every day. So, right, tequila, right, guys? It hurts sometimes, right? At least for me. Okay, so to talk about facts and general truths. So if you're talking about your own routine, you can use a zero conditional. If I don't eat food, I get hangry. Hungry and angry. Boom, hangry. So you could get hangry if you don't eat enough food. So how do we make it? If plus a subject plus a present verb. So we'll say that. Because I say present because you could say if the teacher is staring, it's a present continuous or a present simple. So that's why present verb is possible, and subject plus another present verb. Okay, so if you guys want, I can make another copy after I've done all these answers and give it to you later. When do we use the first conditional? What do we use this one for? Hello, Abdur Rahim. Welcome. To talk about, so why do we use the first conditional? So we talked about facts and general truths, that's a zero. But this one we use will, right? If I win the lottery, I will travel around the world, right? Possible conditions, good. So I'll just keep it general. To talk about things which are possible. Sorry, let me add some words here. Real possibilities. Okay, and you guys decide what's real and what's possible, right? So if you think, if I win $1 million, do I think I'm going to win $1 million? Not really. So I might not use will. I might say, if I won $1 million, I would travel around the world. So for me, I wouldn't use the first conditional. I might prefer the second. So sometimes it honestly depends on what do you think about the situation. Is it possible or not possible? All right, so to talk about things which are real possibilities, so we have if plus subject. So if I win, so again, present verb. If I have understood you. So you can see I'm not using the present simple, I'm using the present perfect simple. If I have understood you correctly, I am going to do exactly what you want. I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example here. But when I say present verb, that means you don't have to use only the present simple. You can use present perfect simple. So if you guys want, try some more complicated grammar today when we're writing some sentences. Okay, so if plus subject plus present verb. And then in the second part, we have subject plus. Now I'll give you two options. I guess I should put both here, right? Because we're going to have different ways of doing it. So let's put both. Need both. Okay, so I'm going to put this one first because this one is more common. Well, actually, which one's more common? Okay, it doesn't matter, I guess. They're both common. So will buy, will go, will travel, right? Plus present verb. And then this one would be going to plus present verb. Okay, so if I get a new job, I will make more money, or I will be happy, or I am going to buy a new car, or I am going to buy a house. Okay, so both of those are possible, and you can use either way, and those would be both examples of the first conditional. How are you guys doing over here? Yeah, good. If I had been there, I would prevent him from going. If I had been there, I would have prevented him from going. Abdur Rahim. So I think we're going to get into the third conditional pretty soon. Just going to do the second here. So why do we use the second conditional? To talk about things which are, what would you say here? Second conditional, Elif says, conditional is used for wishing as a meaning present. Not only present, so actually we can use the second conditional for present or future, right? So remember, you just have to add some time expressions. Let's see here. What do we got? So for example, if I won a lot of money, I would travel around the world. Okay, that sounds kind of like now, right? Like if I won a lot of money, you're just imagining kind of right now. But if I said if I won a lot of money next week, okay, well, so you can see now my second conditional with would can be a present idea or a future idea. So you just need those time expressions to help it become more clear. Kind of like the modal verbs lesson we did. you can actually use. Manuel, let's see what you got. So to talk about things, yeah, good job, teacher. Very nice. To talk about things which are unreal or, okay, sorry, let me add two. I'm just going to change this a little bit, which are less possible. I'm going to change the wording a little bit, or impossible. Okay, now I'll explain that a little bit. So again, less possible. If I won the lottery, I would buy a Ferrari. Okay, less possible. Am I going to win the lottery? Not really. So I would say less possible. Man, I could sleep. I would, if I had time, I would sleep for a week. Am I going to sleep for a week? No, impossible. So you can see we use a second conditional for both of those ideas, something that's less possible and something that's impossible. So both are good. What else we got here? Very nice of you, JB. Very nice. I do hope you learn some magic and you end world poverty. That would be awesome. So keep working on your magic. Maybe you can go home a little bit early if you need to. Work on that magic, okay? So let's see here. What else? So now, past verb, right? We need some more examples, but I guess they're all in the warm-up. So if plus subject plus a past verb. So if I had $1 million. And let me add a little bit more to talk about things which are less possible or impossible. And I need more info actually in the present or future, because we can do both. So I should actually add that. And let me add that as well. Okay, so you can actually use both the first conditional and second conditional for present or future ideas. Okay, so subject, so we've got that. So to talk about thing, subject plus, and of course when we use the second conditional, we always need would, and then your present verb. So you can see present verb, present verb, present verb. All right, how are we doing here? If I had money at the time, I would definitely buy it. And again, Abdul Rahim, I think you want to use the third conditional, which we're going to do right now, because I think you were talking about a past situation. Bisma says, if I have got to know about her intentions, got to know, yeah, not bad. If I had, it sounds like past. If I have got, so Bisma, I might use the same thing. I might use a third conditional for you. If I had learnt about her intentions, I might not let her do this now. So actually, that's a good example of a mixed conditional, and we're going to look at that maybe with the last little bit here. Okay, so let's go here. Boop, 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 boop. Third conditional to talk about things which are where am I here? Third conditional. Why do we use the third? Yeah, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Why do we use the third conditional? To talk about things which are regretting past events. Yes, that works. So talk about, what's a good way to explain that? To talk about, yeah, it is regrets, isn't it? But it's not only regrets. Regrets is usually what we do, right? It's not necessary. You don't have to feel sad. So what would be the best way? So to talk about things which are, I'm just going to change my words a little bit because I think this is the way to talk about imaginary, or let's use this word because I should have used that in the other one, hypothetical. Imaginary. So I should have said hypothetical here, so I'll just add that. So to talk about imaginary or hypothetical situations in the past. Okay, cool. So, and last one, how do we make this one here? So again, if I had, how would I do that? So now this is where we use the past perfect grammar that you were talking about. So if how would I do this? What is hypothetical? Hypothetical means imagination. Just in your mind, hypothetical. Not a real situation, but an imaginary situation. Okay, so we'll do if plus subject plus had plus, what do I use after this? Had gone, had seen. What's the name of that verb? Past participle. Okay, past participle verb, yeah. Good. And then, so again, remember, the third conditional, it's much longer. PP, yes, you got it. Not right now, Judith, maybe later after class, okay? So we use a had plus past participle, subject plus would. And again, this one is longer. Have. And past participle. Boom, done. Okay, so you see the third conditional, there's more words you have to remember. What do we got here? If I had seen them, I would have called the police. Now you're rocking, Abdur Rahim. Now you got it. Okay, so again, had seen, had gone, had given. After if, second section, would have gone, would have seen, would have given. Boom, you're rocking. All right, here we go. A little bit of the harder stuff, and then you guys are going to be writing sentences. So take a look at these two here. So, and this is kind of what we did already, right? Look at those two sentences. Are they present or future ideas? And I've put some words in there to help you. So, what do you think? Present or future? If I lost my job, I would go on vacation. If I lost my job next week, I would go on vacation. Which conditional is that? Second conditional, because it's using would. Hello, peace. Okay. Should you use a comma? Yes, you should use a comma, right? If you have if at the beginning, use a comma all the time. JB, don't kill anybody, all right? Just stick to the magic part and saving the earth. That's better. That's more noble. So if I lost my job, so you can see that the second conditional we can change to a present idea. I would go on vacation. Sounds kind of like now. And I would go on vacation next week if I lost my job next week. So we can actually use the second conditional in the present idea and the future idea. All right? Cool. So the question is, can first and second conditionals be both present and future? Yes. Hard to think of an example. I guess the example I can give you of the first conditional was the one I did here, right? So here, if I have understood this grammar, I should be able to answer this question now. That makes sense, right? What is that there? What is that blip? Okay, so again, that sounds like a now idea, doesn't it? But if I have understood this grammar, I will be able to answer this question tomorrow or whatever, then of course that's a future idea. So the thing is, if you didn't know before, you can use the first and second conditionals in the present and the future, and you're rocking and rolling. All right, here we go. Now for the fun stuff. It's not really fun, is it? Is anyone having fun? Probably not. It's just grammar, right? All right, so is this sentence zero, first, second, or third conditional? Go ahead, take your time. Tell me what's the grammar of this conditional sentence here. Garima says third. 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 Maybe. Bye, Aleph. Have a great night. Grammar through your mind all night. Mixed. Ahmed, you're the winner. Ziad, you're the winner. You got it. Good. You mixed is the answer. You got it. Winner. It's a mixed conditional. Why is it mixed? So analyze it. Good. Alex, you got it. Second and third mixed. So here, you know when we use had and PP, that's the third conditional. And then usually we say, if I had been a good student in high school, I would have gotten a better score. Past. But this one is not past. This one is, if I had been a good student in high school, I would be a better student now. Okay, so that's a mixed conditional. Mix them up. And this one is the most popular. Yes, Alex, dance party. If this is the mixed conditional, so this is the way we normally mix it. Usually we use the third, and then we mix it with, I don't know, usually this. I would say usually the second. I would say this example is normally the way we mix conditionals. Oh, I got lots more. Jeez, I might skip some of this because I want you guys to make some sentences. Okay, I'm gonna skip. So let's go ahead, guys. I want you guys to have a chance to do some of these. So you guys can do some mix if you want. If you feel like, okay, I got this, no problem. Do some mixed conditionals. If you just need some basic practice, let's just do the 0 or the first or the second or the third. So what does it say? Now we are going to create our own sentences. So I want you to use the 4 different conditional, well, the 5 actually, the mixed conditional that we learned today. Create sentences that we can talk about. You should also write which conditional you have used and what the time is. So kind of like my activity, if you can, I would like you guys to tell me which conditional you used. Was it 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, or mixed? You could even do that one as well. Okay, so please make your own sentences. We'll put them up here. We're going to check them, make sure that they're good, and talk about them a little bit. Okay, so let's see what we got. We got a few here. Ziad says, I wouldn't be facing this kind of problem if I had listened to you. All right, so good. That looks like a good one. Let's put that up here, Ziad. I wouldn't be facing this kind of problem. Now, a little bit of a problem there, Ziad. If you said this kind of problems, a bit of a mismatch there. So what's the mismatch? These kinds of problems if I had listened to you. But he did, this is a good one. So this is a good example of a mixed conditional, right? So he's, I wouldn't be facing these kinds of problems now if I had listened. Had plus past participle. Rocking it, Ziad. Very nice. Manal says, if I am hungry, I will eat a burger. Good. Now, Manal, is this an idea that you do every day, or is this only a one-time in the future idea? Okay, so sometimes you have to think about, what is the time that you want to talk about. So if I'm hungry, I eat a burger. Okay, probably you're right. Probably that doesn't happen every day. You don't eat a burger every day. So maybe this would be a good example of a first conditional. Okay, good. What else we got here? Let's make that a little bit bigger. All right, so Julian says, if I had come to Ken's classes more often, I would be smarter. That's totally true, Julian. I will make you smarter. SMRT, smart, smarter. But that's good. You got a perfect sentence there. If I had come past to Ken's classes, I would be smarter now. Awesome job, mixed conditional. Mixing it up. Abdurrahim says, if the clouds are dark, it will rain. First conditional, very nice. Garima, if I buy a used car, I will save some money. First and first as well. Very nice. Good. Alex, if I have studied harder, So Alex, when was the studying? Was the studying in the past? Or is it studying now? Like, is it if I study harder every day, I will? Or is it if I had, you want to do if I have studied hard? That's tricky. That's a tricky one to do. So what I might do, sorry Alex, I'm just going to borrow yours here and throw it up. Oh, I got a picture there as well. Never shows up. All right, so let's take a look here. If I have studied hard, I could be more efficient. So for me, because you used could, that to me, whenever we use could, it sounds like would. So for me, that sounds like a second conditional. So I might say, if I studied harder, I could be more efficient. Or if I had studied hard in the past, I could be more efficient now, right? So for me, I would use one of those two. Gilmar, if I have enough money, I will study English in an English country. Good idea. Ziad said, I would buy you a yacht. Thank you, Ziad. I appreciate that. I would love a yacht. I'd probably crash it into the rock somewhere, but thank you very much. That would be awesome. I would buy it if I had a lot of money. That would be great. Julian, if I had come to Ken's class. Okay, yeah, same one. Okay, skip. If I had the money, I would have. Manal, have, if I had. You have to use the had 2 times. I know it sounds weird, but you got to use it 2 times. So if I had the money, or the other option, if I had the money, I would travel to Canada. So you're mixing the 2 together, but it's not good. Usually, you say, if I had the money now, I would go to Canada. Or if I had the money, I would have gone. This is my hand in the past. I would have gone to Canada. Pilar says, if I had worked harder at school, I would have a better job now. Mixed conditional, boom, killing it. What else we got here? Judith says, if I had known you, ooh, interesting. If I had known you don't like pizza, I wouldn't have bought it. Don't forget the it, Judith. In English, we always need something there. If I had known you don't like pizza, I would have bought it for you. Interesting, because you said don't like pizza like every day. Yeah, so that works. No problem. Looks good. Abdur Rahim says, if I had woken 1 minute earlier, I would not have missed the bus. Boom. Got it. Ziad says, I would have watched all the lessons. Ziad, with your S there. Don't forget your S. If I had been here on time. Okay, cool. That works. Third conditional. Edgar, if I eat more bread, I get extra pounds. Don't worry, Edgar. That's everybody. That's kind of life for most people. What else? Bisma, had they? Ooh, I like that. Had they informed me about the situation before they left, they would. I think it's both past. They wouldn't have come here. I think it sounds better if you do it that way. What else we got here? Manal, if I have more friends, I would be popular. The situation, Manal, is imagination only. So if I had, so we use had for imagination. So if I had more friends, I would be more popular now. So just change that one a little bit. Ziad, I would be grateful if you could help me. So second conditional, okay, using would and could, no problem. JB, if I consume a lot of sugar, I end up with diabetes. That's true, JB. So watch your sugar intake. Julian says, if I had known that part of my family, okay, so Julian, oh, okay, no, that works, If I had known that part of my family is in Germany all the time, then it's okay, or was in Germany. You could also use was, but is fine. I would visit them. I would be delighted if you could make it to my wedding. Well, that would be nice. Thank you very much. Maybe I will, Ziad. Maybe I will come to your wedding. If I was smarter. I would say smarter. Love it when students make these little mistakes on those sentences. Because smart is one word. And when we have an adjective, smart, smarter, hot, hotter, fat, fatter, fast, faster, right? So if it's one sound, just change ER. Usually it's better. So if I was smarter, oh, okay, interesting, Alex. So you got, if I was smarter now, maybe, I would have finished my degree at university. Or is it, maybe it's past. I think maybe you want to do third conditional. If I had been smarter, I would have finished my degree at university. I think that one maybe sounds better with third conditional only, no mixing. What else we got here? Pilar, if I had seen him, I would have told him about you. Okay, that works as well. Nice one, Pilar. Ultraman 135. If I had been born as an English teacher, big E, Ultraman on English speaker, I could have taught other people English as a teacher. Yes, you could have. I guess you could still teach people, Ultraman. Don't give up. I think you're probably pretty good at English, so well, you can probably still help some people out. So go ahead, teach people English. JB, mine was a zero conditional. Yes, JB, but maybe no, right? Because how many times are you going to end up with diabetes? Many times. You're going to get diabetes every time, every day, repeated action, or just one time in the future. So I would say for your sentence, if I consume a lot of sugar, I might, or I will, or I could end up with diabetes. So I would use the first conditional for that sentence. It would be a sound of, I hear you and it sounds pretty good, but it sounds a little more grammatically correct if you use the first conditional. What else we got here? So Gertrude says, if I had been a pretty girl, I would have been a model. So I wouldn't use have been. You might say, you could do two different things here. You could probably say, if I was, right? Like every day, if I was a pretty girl, I would have been a model in the past. You could mix a conditional like that. Or you could say something like, if I had been born a pretty girl, I would have been a supermodel. Don't give up your supermodel dreams. You can still do it. Julian, if I was in better shape, I wouldn't be single to this day. Okay. It's true, Julian. Good exercise, maybe go to the gym a little. You got 2 weeks, you can get in shape in 2 weeks, right? Valentine's Day. Edgar, if today weren't a holiday, it wouldn't be a fun day. There we go. Bisma, if they have done their assignments, there wasn't any reason to submit in the class. If they, I think this is a past situation, Bisma. If they had done their assignments, we don't usually use have in conditionals too often, so maybe just stick with the past or not using have, just use the present simple, because using present perfect simple is a little tricky. So maybe if they had done their assignments, I think that's what you want to say. If they had done their assignments, there wouldn't be, if they had done their assignments, imagination, there wouldn't be any reason to submit them in the class. It's a bit of a tricky one there. Garima, if I had enough money, I would travel the world. Awesome second conditional. If it snowed, you'd get cold. Manal, that's a good one as well. And you would get cold. So again, second conditional. Abdul Rahim, I would have stayed. I think you want to use past Abdul Rahim. So you need more information. I would have stayed longer if the internet hadn't been slow. Does that make sense? I would have stayed longer. Pilar, if I were taller, he would like me. I'm sure it's not your height, Pilar. I'm sure it's just not that. Bisma, yeah, okay. And Julian says here, if Smrt classes ended, I would have a hard time in English. If a Smrt classes ended, I would have a hard time in English or with English. That's a weird one, hard time with something, due to the awesome teachers leaving. There we go. So just a little bit there. Alex says, I wouldn't have learned English if you were my boyfriend. Exactly. It would have been easier, right? So that's the secret. You guys want to learn English, just go get a partner. Done. You'll learn English automatically. And you'll have a happy Valentine's Day. Win-win. Judith, if American people didn't skip the voting in 2017, the politics would be different recently. I agree. People shouldn't have skipped the voting, especially last year. It was a big mistake. America. What happened to America? It used to be awesome, right? Garima, if I were in Canada, I would definitely join Smrt Institute there in person. Well, you could, Garima, but Smrt is actually it's actually an online platform. So there is a school here, but the platform of Smrt is the design is to basically do everything online. So you are at the school basically. I'm not too sure you could join Smrt here. It wouldn't be the same. Okay, so very nice, guys. So what I think we'll do with the last little bit, we've got a few minutes left. Let me go back up because there was a few things that I didn't do here, but most of you guys have the right idea. So a few of you guys, just be careful. Remember, if it's a third conditional, you're going to need more information. Had gone, would have gone. So don't forget those things. Let's do this one here because there are a few things here. I think I wanted to show you this for a reason. So let's do this. Okay, so look at these sentences before. Look at these sentences below. If you think this sentence is good, you must be crazy. Now, why did I write these? It's been a while since I've done this lesson. If you don't want to study grammar anymore, it might, oh, that's why. Okay, if you don't want to study grammar anymore, it might be a good idea. If I had had a job in high school, I could have traveled more. And if I get a new job, I should buy a car. The question is, can we use modal verbs in conditional sentences? So this is the question. This is why I wanted to show you all these things here. So what is the answer to that? Can we use modal verbs in conditional sentences? Answer is yes. Okay, definitely yes. And remember, some of them are more common than the others. So basically, should, usually you're going to use it for a future situation. Could be used in the past as well. But anyways, these are the ones we usually use. Must, might, could, should, so all of those. Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to go over with you guys today. I hope you found it useful, kind of reviewing all the things, and maybe you got a little introduction to using a few mixed conditionals. So try them out, practice them out. You can always find, if you want to look on the internet, find examples of mixed conditionals. I'm sure you can find a lot more. We just did kind of a few basics today. But check them out. So that was kind of a big review. So now we did the zero conditional, we did the first conditional, we did the second conditional, and we did mixed conditional. So you've gotten a whole smash, whole whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. It's Monday. You got a whole lot of conditionals today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next week we'll be looking at something new. I'll try to challenge you guys. I can't give you the easy stuff, so that's why we kind of mix it all together, try to keep you guys challenged. So we'll look at a new topic next week. Take some of these home, maybe do a little practice with your free time. And that's about it. That's about it. Keep it smart, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. If you guys have any questions, I'll be hanging out in the chat. I hope you guys did manage to get into the Discord app that we talked about last week. So if you were having trouble with that, hopefully you were able to find it. We just found it by searching Smrt in the Discord app, and hopefully you guys are there and you can connect with other people using that. So talk to each other in the chat. Maybe they can help you to get hooked up on the Discord app as well. It was kind of cool. And other than that, you have a great week. Hang in tough, and we'll see you next weekend. Good luck on the Valentine's Day search. Go doing a little fishing. I think you'll be okay. See you guys next time. How do I get out of here? Okay, I'm lost here. Oh, my computer's freezing up on me. Awesome. Monday strikes again. Okay, guys, I'm going to try to get out of here. Eventually, we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.